Morning, welcome to the morning drive. It's Javon Para. Today we're going to be talking about detachment versus non-attachment. So those are different things, right? So here's the difference between the two. Non-attachment is when people are just disconnected. They don't need you, they don't need anybody, they want it known, but they don't need anybody, they don't care, right? Whatever happens to you, I don't care. I am detached from the good or the bad, and usually people are detached because they've been hurt really bad. They've been hurt at some time in their life, and they're like, I'm not gonna let it happen again. That chick broke my heart those many years ago. Well, guess what? I'm not gonna let anybody ever break my heart again. So the way to do that is I'm just not gonna love fully, or I'm not gonna risk how I really wanna love, because if I did and I got my heart broken again, well, that would be way too painful. Or, man, I tried to do a business one time and I failed miserably and I lost a bunch of money. So obviously I can't ever try again, because I would fail again and then that would suck. So instead, I'm gonna settle for my mediocre life with my mediocre love and my mediocre relationships and just say, hey, it's good enough. At least it's not super painful like it was before. So if, it's dismal, right? If you think about that, that is the life of detached. And if you think about the definition of hell, the ultimate definition of hell is eternal separation. Ooh, eternal separation. That sounds horrible, right? Because it is. It's hell. That's just, and we can create our own hell right here by eternally separating ourselves. So what is this thing that maybe you've referred it to as non-attachment? Because it's not detachment. Non-attachment is something different. Here's what non-attachment is. It is separating yourself from the necessity for a certain external result. Like, you need some kind of external result to be happy or successful or peaceful or whatever. You need it. And if you don't get it, then you're going to be miserable or whatever it is. So like, I tell my wife, good morning, and she just gets up and she doesn't say good morning back to me in the appropriate manner, let's say, which is the opposite. She's the cheerful one and I'm not as. But let's just say that happened. I need this reaction from her in order to feel good about myself, instead of just feeling wonderful about my feeling good in the morning. If I don't get the appropriate reaction from her, then I'd be upset. Or I'm gonna do my business, I'm gonna do these sales calls because I want this realtor to refer their buyers to me, or I want this buyer to use me instead of another lender. And so I'm gonna put myself into the conversation and educate them and help them be super prepared buyer or seller, and then they don't use me. Now I'm miserable and I'm a failed lender, I suck at my business. I need that result. So those kind of things, it is attached to the result external from me. It's really the source of all suffering is the attach of a particular result that happens outside of you. So instead, non-attachment says, I'm going to do what I do because I love what I do. It's because of who I am. Because of who I am is complete and pure. Who I am needs nothing else to be added. And then because of that, I'm going to do things, right? I'm going to be who I want to be, and then I'm going to do the stuff that person would be, and then the results that come from that are just what they are. They have nothing to do with who I am. The results have nothing to do with my happiness. So I'm going to make those sales calls for all you salespeople out there. Maybe this is helpful. I'm going to make those sales calls, and I'm going to be as authentic and pure and helpful and valuable as I possibly can, because that's who I am. That's who I choose to be. And whether they use me or not, it's none of my business. None of your business. That's awesome, right? Because then I feel good about helping people, and I'm going to have zero concern about the results. And what I found when I am that way, I get better results. It's a bit paradoxical, but at the same time, it's not. How many times have you been with a salesperson that needs you to say yes? Oh, they're going every angle. You say no, they come back again. You say no, they come back again. And you're like, hey, sales guy, leave me alone. Jeez, you hang up on them. That's right. Maybe that was me when I called you. I'm sorry. But here's the deal. It's because that person needed a result. Instead of maybe even with a salesperson that you get that they don't need the sale, that you're not a salesperson, that they're not being a salesperson because you feel like they're really trying to help you. And that is what's happening when somebody has non-attachment to a result. They're committed to be who they want to be. That beautiful person that gives with no real clear intention or goal to have something in return. So that's unconditional love too. If you think about unconditional love, there is no condition. You don't need something back from someone that you're doing unconditional love from, and it's very rare. Most people, they expect a certain behavior back if they're going to love you, but it's rare. So what areas in your life do you have certain requirements back? Those are the areas where you most likely have the biggest amount of stress and the biggest amount of suffering in. In the areas where you need nothing back in return, you most likely have the most amount of joy in. Here's another example. We're going along here, but another example is, if you can imagine, maybe this is a real story for you. Imagine two people dating. Imagine two people that are friends, boy and a girl that are friends. The friend totally is an idiot. Let's call it the guy. The guy is an idiot, and the girl that's a friend actually enjoys all the idiot stories of her guy friend. Wow, you are such an idiot. Tell me another story about how much of an idiot you are. I find it entertaining, right? Suddenly, after some years, they realize, hey, we really like each other. Let's try to have a romantic relationship. And then they start dating, and now they're going steady. Now the guy does something idiotic. Guess what happens to the girl's experience? It's not entertaining anymore. Now, you better get your act together. What's the difference? Well, the difference is now this guy's behavior is a requirement for her good experience. Before, it was whatever the guy was. It didn't relate to her. It wasn't her life, right? It was just her friend. She can enjoy in his highs and lows. It was fun to talk about. But now she has a requirement for his behavior to her have a good experience. Every area of life is like this. So here's the pendulum, back and forth, back and forth. One pendulum is, I need certain experience from this thing, and if I don't get it, then I'm going to be miserable. I'm suffering over here. Then you go back over to this other side, and I don't care about anything. I don't need anything from anybody. Well, that side also, like we talked about at the beginning, that's hell. You're all alone. You don't want that. So non-attachment is right in the middle, and it's a great source of peace wherever you're at, and it goes like this. I'm going to be fully engaging with people. I'm going to fully experience people's highs and lows. I'm going to be with them, knowing at the same time that I don't need anything I experience back from them for me to have my own peace and my own happiness, because that's an internal state that I can get to. And also knowing that the things that I'm accomplishing in life, it's a group effort. It's everybody's participating in this, but I'm playing the game like a game, like Monopoly. I'm playing the game Monopoly because it's fun to play, not because I need to get this red hotel, and if I don't, I'm a miserable person. No, it's because it's fun to try to get the hotel. So think about this. Love your thoughts on this, if you can. Okay.